Members, good afternoon. It's the appointed time of the House Committee. We have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Item number 1, matters arising. The CS indicated that the Finance Committee has been holding the special FC meetings, special Finance Committee meetings, to examine the estimate and expenditure of the government in 25 and 26. Members have asked detailed questions which fully reflects that they are very serious in carrying out their duties to examine government budget. Government servants will continue to listen to members' views during the resumption of second reading debate. In relation to Bill's scrutiny, the CS indicated that he has already asked policy bureaus to fully support the work of the Bills Committee. Officials will seriously consider the comments raised and answer in detail their questions. They will also speedily provide a written response. The Chief Executive thanked members, a chairperson, and the Secretariat of Bills Committee for their dedication. The CS believe that with the concerted efforts of LegCo as well as Policy Bureau, they will be able to meet the target of finishing all the bills before the end of this term. Another matter is a Frontier Closed Area Permission to Enter Amendment Notice 2025 LN 39. On the last occasion in the House Committee meeting, 3 members asked to set up a subcommittee. Subsequently, these members indicated that they would like to withdraw their request to form a subcommittee. They've already sent a letter to us. The letter has been circulated to members. If there are no other views, I think there is no need for us to set up a subcommittee. Let me remind members, the deadline for making amendments to this subsidiary legislation is in the Council meeting on the 16th of April. Item 2, Legal Service Division reports on bills and subsidiary legislation. There are 5 bills referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54(4) of the Rules of Procedure. The first one, Banking Amendment Bill 2025, LC Paper LS 33 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. Thank you. The bill seeks to amend the banking ordinance to introduce a new voluntary mechanism for authorized institutions such as banks to request or disclose information among one another for the detection or prevention of crimes without the consent of relevant parties or the entities. It is also to make safe harbor provisions. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 15. If passed, the bill will come into operation on a date to be appointed by the SFST by notice published in Gazette. In October last year, the panel on financial affairs was consulted. Members in general supported the proposals. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspect of the bill. The bill seeks to introduce a new information sharing mechanism among AIs without obtaining consent for crime prevention and detection. Members may want to set up a bills committee. Thank you. Members, anyone who would like to set up a bills committee to scrutinize the bill? If so, please raise your hands. Mr. Martin Liu, Mr. Ronick Chen, and Mr. Robert Lee. We have more than 3. Please circulate the paper among members. 2, Firearms and Ammunition Amendment Bill 2025, paper number LS 34 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. The bill seeks to amend the Firearms and Ammunition Ordinance as well as relevant legislation to implement the Protocol Against the Illicit Manufacturing of and Trafficking in Firearms, their parts and components, and ammunition adopted by the UN General Assembly. It includes criminal offenses in relation to the manufacturing, the marking, as well as other matters. For details, please refer to paragraphs 4 and 11. If passed, a majority of the provisions will come into operation on the day when they're gazetted. In relation to markings of the firearms, they will come into operation on a date to be appointed by the Secretary. The panel on security was consulted. Members supported the proposal but expressed concerns. We are looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to implement the Firearms Protocol by updating the statutory regime. Members may want to set up a bills committee to look into this bill. Thank you. Members who would like to set up a bills committee? If so, please raise your hands. No. Members, please note that the Legal Service Division is looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill, subject to the confirmation of their decision that there is no issue. The bills may resume second reading debate. 3. Promotion of recycling and proper disposal of products. Miscellaneous Amendment Bill 2025, LS 35 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. This bill seeks to amend the Product Equal Responsibility Ordinance and the subsidiary legislation to introduce schemes for various products, as well as to empower revise the power to make regulations. It also amends the Waste Disposal Ordinance and its subsidiary legislation to regulate plastic waste, liquid carton waste, as well as vehicle tire waste. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 13. It will come into operation on the day when it's gazetted. The panel on environmental affairs was consulted on 2 occasions. Members in general supported the bill, and they have discussed various issues. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to introduce a new legislative framework for the producer responsibility schemes. Members may wish to set up a bills committee. Thank you. Members who would like to set up a bills committee? Mr. Edward Lau, Mr. Chen Xiu-hong, and Mr. Andrew Lam. We have more than 3 members. Please jot down their names and circulate paper. 4. Import and Export Amendment Bill 2025, LS 36 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. The bill seeks to amend the Import and Export Ordinance and related legislation to provide for the use of the trade single window system for transmitting certain import and export related information to replace the government electronic trading services system. That will also introduce new regulatory scheme on value-added service providers for them to transmit trade documents on behalf of traders. The bill also provides for offences. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 12. Majority of the provisions will come into operation on the day when they're gazetted, and in relation to other certain clauses, they will come into operation on the date to be appointed by the Commissioner of C&E. In December last year, the panel on Commerce, Industry, Innovation and Technology was consulted. Members in general supported the proposal, and they have discussed various issues. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to implement the trade single window system to replace an existing system. Members may want to set up a bills committee. Members who would like to set up a bills committee to scrutinize this bill? If so, please raise your hands. Mr. Johnny Ng, Mr. Frankie Yip, and Ms. Doreen Kong. We have more than 3 members. Please jot down their names and circulate the paper. 5. Housing Amendment Bill 2025. Paper LS 37 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. Thank you. The bill seeks to amend the Housing Ordinance to criminalize the unauthorized letting, occupation, or use for trade or businesses of residential rental flats of the housing authorities, as well as make provisions for a number of matters. That includes empowering of authorized officers to require trespassers to furnish information, as well as extension of limitation of time. Please refer to paragraphs 4 to 12. If passed, certain provisions that is related to unauthorized letting, they will come into operation on the 21st of March 2026. For the others, they will come into operation on the day when they're gazetted as an ordinance. The panel on housing was consulted. Members in general supported the proposals. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to criminalize the unauthorized letting of housing authority estates, as well as to provide for offences. Members may want to set up a bills committee. Members who would like to set up a bills committee to look into this bill: Mr. Chen Kim-po, Mr. Lo Wai Kwok, and Ms. Wendy Hong. We have more than 3 members. Please also circulate the paper. Item 2B, subsidiary legislation. There are 6 items. Subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 28th of March 2025, paper number LS38 of 2025. This report covers 6 items of subsidiary legislation. Legal advisor, please. First, I'd like to report LN 848. It is to appoint Big Oak Correctional Institute as a drug addiction treatment center for the cure and rehabilitation of persons found guilty of certain offences. Please refer to paragraphs 1 and 2. This will come into operation on the 23rd of May 2025. We have not identified any legal drafting difficulties. That's my report for LN 48. In relation to LN 48, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee to look into it? If so, please raise your hands. No. Please continue. The next batch are LN 49 to LN 52. These notices are for the onboarding of the 5th batch of mandatory provident fund schemes. LN 49 is to designate the 5th of June 2025 as the day on which the approved trustees must begin to use the EMPF platform. LN 50 to LN 50 to LN 52 appoints September 5th, 2025 as the material date for setting of fees, as well as cost savings in relation to certain specified constituent funds. Please refer to paragraphs 6 to 10. That's my report for LN 49 to 52. Thank you. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. No. Please continue. Now is LN 53. This is the last legal notice of today. It's a commencement notice. The purpose is to appoint the 15th of June 2025 for the uncommenced provisions of Electronic Traffic Enforcement Miscellaneous Amendment Ordinance to come into operation. This is to give full effect to the entire ordinance by allowing the authority to issue electronic fixed penalty tickets for parking. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. That's my report for this commencement notice. Members who would like to set up a subcommittee, if so, please raise your hands. No. Let me remind members, in relation to the 6 items of subsidiary legislation, if you would like to make any amendments, the deadline is the council meeting on the 30th of April. Item 3, business for the council meeting on the 16th and 17th of April. The council meeting next week is the 2nd budget meeting, so there are only written questions allowed. On that day, there will be first reading of 3 government bills. They are Statute Law Miscellaneous Provisions Bill 2025, Gas Safety Amendment Bill 2025, and Employment Amendment Bill 2025. On the House Committee meeting 25th of April will deal with these 3 bills. Now we move on to government bill, that is resumption of second reading debate of the Appropriation Bill 2025. Each member may speak once for 10 minutes. The administration will, on the 30th of April, the third budget meeting, reply to members' comments. We will also continue with the second and third reading of the bill, as well as putting the bill to the vote. There is also report number 8 of 2025 of the House Committee on Consideration of Subsidiary Legislation and Other Instruments. It will be laid on the table. The draft has already been given to members. No members indicated that they would like to speak. Item 4, reports of Bills Committee and Subcommittees. We have 5 reports today.
First, report of the Bills Committee on Electoral Legislation Miscellaneous Amendments Bill 2025. Chair of the Bills Committee, Mr. Lai Tong-kwok, will now speak and deliver the report. Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill seeks to amend the Electoral Affairs Commission Ordinance, the Chief Executive Election Ordinance, and their subsidiary legislation to ensure the smooth conduct of the 2025 Election Committee subsector by-elections and the 2025 Legislative Council General Election. The Bills Committee has held 2 meetings and invited written views from the public. Members are in general supportive of the bill. They acknowledge the government's effort in enhancing electoral arrangements and boosting efficiency, whilst ensuring that elections are conducted in a fair, just, safe, and orderly manner. On the bill's proposal to remove the statutory connection between the delineation of the Legislative Council General Elections and the District Council geographical constituencies, members have noted that with the improvement on district governance and reform of district councils in 2023, the delineation of district councils geographical constituencies are no longer pegged to the geographical constituencies of the Legislative Council. Members support the proposal, which will provide flexibility for delineation arrangements. Some members have also urged the administration to maintain consistency as far as practicable to facilitate electors as well as district council members serving the districts. Members support the bill's proposal in empowering the Electoral Affairs Commission to use counting machines in LegCo functional constituencies elections on top of manual counting. Ballot paper accounts can be consolidated to enhance efficiency and reduce manpower costs and related expenditure. Members have expressed concerns about the technical stability, security, and accuracy of the counting machines. They've urged the administration to formulate a comprehensive risk management and contingency plan. The system should be fully tested to ensure its reliability. A backup plan should also be drawn up and triggered in the case of any problems. The administration has advised that they will ensure that the system is developed by a reputable contractor and the system will undergo rigorous testing. Contingency plans will also be formulated. For example, sufficient backup counting machines will be prepared and if necessary, manual counting will be conducted. The administration will decide whether to use counting machines in the elections after assessing the reliability, accuracy, and test results of the system. Practical arrangements and guidelines will be promulgated as early as possible. There will also be enhanced publicity. Regarding the publication of the Election Committee subsector registers, members support the bill's proposal to empower the electoral registration officer to advance, by means of gazette notice, the deadlines for specific registration procedures related to the registers in the year of the Legislative Council General Election. So that the by-election can be conducted on the basis of the updated register. Members have asked the administration as to how they would follow up on changes in the ex-official membership of the Election Committee in a timely manner. According to the administration, the REO will contact the relevant organizations and remind them to submit registration forms to the REO should there be any change in the specified positions. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill. On the legal advisor's suggestion, the administration will move a textual amendment. The Bills Committee supports the amendment. It will not move any amendment to the bill. The administration plans to resume the second reading of the bill at the council meeting of the 30th of April. The Bills Committee has no objection. The Bills Committee will submit the written report in due course. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Lai Tong Kwok. If there is no objection, the second reading of the above bill will be resumed at the council meeting of the 30th of April. The deadline for giving notice to the amendments is the 17th of April. Next, report of the Bills Committee on Public Health and Municipal Services Amendment Bill 2024. Mr. Kitson Yang, Chair of the Bills Committee, will now deliver the report. Thank you, Madam Chair. The bill seeks to amend the Public Health and Municipal Services Ordinance, CAP 132, to strengthen the powers of the Director of Food and Environmental Hygiene and authorized officers, introduce an offence targeting unlawful shopfront extension, increase the penalties for certain offences relating to environmental hygiene, and make related and miscellaneous amendments to the ordinance and related legislation. The Bills Committee has held 4 meetings and invited written views from the public. Members in general support the bill. They have discussed in depth with the administration various matters, including enforcement strategies to combat obstruction to scavenging operation and unlawful shopfront extension, follow-up action after issuing written notices for authorized officers to enter certain premises or board vessels for investigation, as well as recovery of expenses incurred from cleaning vermin-infested premises. Having considered the members' views, the administration has proposed to move an amendment for the subject to comply with the demand of authorized officers' admission to the premises for investigation within 14 days after the issuance of a notice of intended entry. Another amendment will be moved to provide that an owner of perishable articles removed, seized, or detained by the authority may make a claim within 48 hours for the return of such articles. The administration will also move other textual amendments. The Bills Committee has no objection to the amendment, nor will it propose any amendment. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill. The administration plans to resume the second reading of the bill at the council meeting of the 7th of May. The Bills Committee has no objection. The House Committee is invited to note the details of the deliberations set out in the report. Thank you, Mr. Yang. If there is no objection, we now move on to the third report.
Report of the Bills Committee on Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2025. I'll now ask the chairperson, Mr. Kwok Wai-Kong, to give us the report. Chairman, the Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2025 seeks to amend the stamp duty ordinance to raise the maximum value of properties chargeable to a stamp duty of $100 from $3 million to $4 million to adjust the ad valorem stamp duty chargeable on a conveyance on sale or an agreement for sale of an immovable property. The Bills Committee in principle supports the proposal to adjust the ad valorem stamp duty to ease the burden of buyers of properties at lower values and to enhance the circulation of residential properties. The Bills Committee has had discussions on some key issues such as the criteria of the proposed adjustments, the method of calculation and implementation details, the number of properties covered by adjustment every year, and the impact on the economy and public finance. As there are not many properties with a value lower than $4 million, the Bills Committee has discussed with the administration about the possibility of raising the maximum value further to, say, $5 million to further lighten the burden on young people and the middle class. Members were of the view that even though raising the maximum value would reduce the revenue from stamp duty, it would, however, bring a larger socio-economic benefit, including boosting the property market and other economic activities. The administration has indicated that if the value is raised to $5 million from $4 million, the amount of revenue foregone will rise sharply from $415 million to $1 billion. Further adjustments in the future depends on a number of factors, including the financial situation of the government at the time, the economy, the property market, etc. The Bills Committee has urged the administration to study the proposal in due course and launch more support measures for first-time home buyers. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill and will not move any amendments. The Bills Committee will not oppose to the administration's plan to resume the second reading debate in the Council meeting on the 7th of May. The written report will follow shortly. Thank you. If there are no questions, the above two bills will resume second reading debate in the Council meeting on the 7th of May. Members, if you would like to make amendments, the deadline for giving notice is the 25th of May. Well, we still have some other matters to handle. I'd like to borrow time from the Finance Committee. I think we will not take more than 8 minutes. The fourth report of the Bills Committee on Companies Amendment Number 2 Bill 2024. I now ask the chairperson, Mr. Edmund Wong, to give us the report. Chairman, the Companies Amendment Number 2 Bill 2024 seeks to amend the Companies Ordinance, including its subsidiary legislation, to provide for a regime to enable a company incorporated outside Hong Kong, non-Hong Kong corporation, to transfer its domicile to Hong Kong and to make related or technical amendments. The Bills Committee has held 4 meetings and has received 5 submissions from deputations. Members in general support the bill. They agree that the new redomiciliation regime can facilitate non-Hong Kong corporations to redomicile in Hong Kong to benefit directly from our market environment and regulatory regime. It will also boost the local professional service and capital markets. Members have expressed grave concerns on whether the company registrar will refuse to register an intended redomiciliation by a company which might endanger national security. They were also of the view that full consideration to risks to national security and response measures should be given when formulating the redomiciliation mechanism. In response to this, the administration will move an amendment to state that the registrar must refuse to register an applicant if the registrar is of the opinion that the intended redomiciliated company is likely to be used for an unlawful purpose or for a purpose contrary to public interest, including endangering national security. Members were of the view that the overall drafting of the bill was verbose. They urged the administration to use words and drafting style that are plain and easy to understand. The administration has noted the views of the members and will take them on board. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill and support the proposed amendments by the administration. The administration plans to resume the second reading debate of the bill in the Council meeting on the 14th of May. The committee's written report will be submitted shortly. Thank you. If there are no other views, let's move on to the fifth report. Report of the Bills Committee on the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill. I'll now ask Mr. Chen Wing-kwong to give us the report. Chairman, the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill seeks to prohibit the unauthorized use of the title of and the unauthorized association by certain other means with the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong, CMHHK. It amends certain provisions in various enactments to cover the CMHHK and makes a related amendment. The Bills Committee has held 1 meeting and has invited submissions from the public. Members in general support the bill. The Bills Committee has noted that the administration decides to introduce the bill after having conducted risk assessments and considered the actual need to prevent other parties from misleading the public into believing that the service is provided by the CMHHK with endorsement from the government. Some members have expressed a concern that there are organizations of which the name are similar to the CMHHK, so they might have committed an offense when the bill takes effect. The administration has indicated that the bill does not have a retrospective effect. If the offense takes place or continues after the bill has come into effect, the administration will review and consider the specific circumstances of each case. Some members have asked the administration to put in place measures after the bill has taken effect to assist the public, including non-local people, in determining if an organization is associated with the CMHK to avoid being misled. The administration has indicated that they would mount extensive publicity to promote the bill and in due course review and the offense and fine stipulated and make adjustments if necessary. In addition, before the hospital starts operation, the Health Bureau and the operator of the hospital will conduct publicity campaign. The hospital will upload information of its partner organizations on its official website. Should there be suspicious cases, the Health Bureau and the hospital will publish a notice to clarify and consider taking enforcement action. The Bills Committee has completed the scrutiny of the bill and will not move any amendments. The administration plans to resume the second reading debate in the Council meeting on the 14th of May. The Bills Committee does not oppose to it. The written report will follow. Thank you. If there are no questions, the above two bills will resume second reading debate in the Council meeting on the 14th of May. If members would like to make amendments, the deadline for giving notice is the 3rd of May, which is a Saturday. Item 5, position on Bills Committee and Subcommittees. As at the 10th of April, Thursday, there are 16 Bills Committee in action. There are 8 subcommittees under the House Committee and 3 subcommittees under panels on policy issues in action. On the waiting list, there are 4 subcommittees on policy issues. Item 6, any other business? There is none. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.